Now let us understand, because when you say information is ruling me, so this information could be either positive or negative. Now, can you give me some examples of negative emotions? So let's look at the negative first. So can you give me some examples of negative emotions? You can use the chat box or you can unmute and tell me. All negative emotions.
Guilt.
Anger, guilt,
Anger, guilt, what else? Fear, anxiety, depression, jealousy,
sadness,
sadness, right?
Addictions.
Addictions, okay, great.
Fear, phobia,
Fear, phobia, thank you very much. What else?
OCD, obsessions, compulsion.
Obsessions, compulsions, okay. Any other thoughts? Okay, so let's see what I have. So anger, emptiness, frustration, fear, guilt, loneliness, shame, regret, sadness, jealousy. Now, if you look at these emotions carefully, are they really negative? Is my question. Yes or no?
No, no.
So why?
I I feel emotions cannot be termed as negative or positive. I feel
Okay.
reactions are positive or negative.
Okay, great. Okay. So, so the question was, so you are right there. Even though these emotions are negative, why cannot we actually say that these are negative emotions?
Because if I say that if I'm jealous, like just an example, because I am I'm obese, right?
Right.
So out of jealousy, if I see somebody who's like has a nice figure, I
Right.
might start working on it
Right.
and I might be better. So
Right.
jealousy, although it's a negative emotion out here, it makes me work in a positive manner.
Right, right. So wonderful example, Gargi, and thank you very much. You have been bang on target. Yes. So these negative emotions are not necessarily negative, because if you look at all these emotions are necessary for our survival. Right. Like Gargi already gave a beautiful example, because we have shame. I have shame. That is why I'm wearing all these clothes. If I didn't have shame, I would have been standing in front of you without clothes. I feel guilty, and this guilt prevents me from doing anything wrong. I have fear, and this fear protects me. For example, if I didn't fear, right, I would straight away walk on the road without worrying about cars coming from both the sides, and someday or the other, I would meet an accident. So fear is also necessary. Loneliness is necessary, because loneliness tells me that I am alone. I need to do something about it. Right? Emptiness, loneliness is necessary. Frustration is necessary. So you're doing something and it is not working. So what does it signal? What does it signify? I'm doing something and I'm not getting results. I'm getting frustrated. What does it mean? What does it mean?
You have to change your method of working.
Thank you very much. So you have to change. There is something. So all these negative emotions tell you that there is something I need to change. So they are important for our survival. Anger is equally important for our survival. Somebody slaps me, I keep quiet. He slaps me again, I keep quiet. He slaps me again, I get angry and I slap him back. He runs away. I am safe. Right? If I didn't have anger, he would keep on hitting me and I wouldn't feel anything about it. Right? So anger is also necessary. All these informations are necessary. All these negative emotions are necessary. Okay. So there are positive emotions also and negative emotions also. Right. So of course we all know positive emotions. So we all know negative emotions also. That's not important. The important part is to understand that negative emotions are not actually negative. They are positive emotions which help us in our survival. Then why do we call them as negative emotions? Right. These negative emotions are important because they are necessary for our survival. They protect us and they help us survive. However, when these negative emotions, the so-called negative emotions become too much, if I get too angry, if I feel too guilty, even when I do something small, silly mistake, I take that guilt and carry. I feel ashamed for small things. I start regretting the small things. I feel sad on small things. I become jealous for small things. And they don't actually motivate me. That is the time these emotions become negative emotions. So we have ability to think 4 times negative than positive. It is necessary for our survival. This comes from our instincts because
There's
our
one thing I want to say out here. Even the positive emotions can be negative.
yeah, of course. So if
Too much of love,
yeah,
blind love for
yeah,
someone.
yeah. So one apple a day keeps a doctor away, but if you keep on eating too many apples every day, you will have to keep on going to the doctor all the time, right? So even positive emotions. So thank you very much for bringing that up. So whether positive or negative, all these emotions, when they are within the right limits, they will be benefiting us. When they go beyond those limits, then they are really dangerous. Now, because we are prone to think 4 times negative, we talk about negative emotions, because generally happiness is a natural state of human mind. But because human mind is designed to think four times negative, then what happens? We end up thinking more negative. Now, why do we think 4 times more negative? What I was saying was it is necessary for our survival, because uh, our ancestors, right? They were ape men, right? They stayed in caves. So humans were probably the weakest species living on Earth at that time. If you look at other species on Earth, so every time humans had to be cautious. So they started living in groups and they started thinking negative. So every time they would anticipate danger. Now, if you look at animals like dogs, for example, you will not see them sleeping like humans sleep at any point of time. Very rarely you will see that. Most of the time, even when they are resting, they are alert, right? So even when they are resting, they are actually alert of the danger, because their mind is designed to think 4 times negative. Their mind is designed to think more negative than positive. Of course, their ability of thinking is also very limited. So when you compare human beings, they have a greater ability to think and analyze. So we end up thinking 4 times more negative. So our environment has changed drastically. So we were living in caves, and now we are living in concrete world where we have everything. Today, because of agriculture, we can grow enough to feed the whole world. But still, because we like to hoard, some like to hoard because they feel, "Arey, kal khatam ho jayega, kal khatam ho jayega," and because of that, right? This negative emotion, they keep on hoarding. So there is an imbalance. There is the distribution of wealth is not equal. Okay. Now the second point is, each and every part of our body is a memory bank. So memory is not just our head. And there are scientific researches also which tells you that our whole body is the memory. We have muscle memory, right? So we know automatically how to lift a cup or a pen, right? So these are our muscle memory. Similarly, all these emotions are also stored in all our parts of our body. So these emotions, these negative emotions, when they are too intense, they can get stored in any part of our body. Now, this negative emotion, when we talk about, it is a perception, right? Not necessary always in not necessarily always negative. Like people commit suicide. Now, if you look at Sushant Singh Rajput, right? He committed suicide. Now, if I or anybody in the forum would look at his life, we would not see any really a great reason for him to commit suicide, right? Because as per us, he was quite accomplished. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still he committed suicide because his perception or what he felt was his life was not worth living. But I will tell you, more than 95% of Indian population would aspire to have a life, the kind of life so Sushant Singh had, right? So this is perception, right? These negative emotions, they are there in us to protect us, but when they become an obstacle for us in leading a happy and healthy life, then we have to take care of them. And what happens over a period of time, because we have ability to think a lot, and we think 4 times negative, everything that happens, we start reflecting on that, and based on our reflection, we start building negative information from that, and we start acquiring limiting beliefs, right? We start acquiring limiting beliefs. We give away powers to our fears. They disempower us, right? The control goes away when we fear. So in other words, it's like Google. If I search, tell me 10 benefits of egg, I will get number of sites which will give me 10 benefits of having egg every day. If I search in Google, give me 10 harmful effects of having an egg every day. So there will be sites which will give me information about how eating an egg every day is not good for health. Very common, milk. Go and search benefits of milk and then harmful effects of milk. So somebody would say, how can a goat's milk healthy for human beings when human beings' milk is not healthy for goat? Right. This is based on Stephen Covey's see do get model. If you look at see do get model also, you can overlap with it. Based on what you see or what you perceive, your perception. Based on your perception, you will do things. And based on your perceptions, you do things and you get results. You change the way you see things, you start doing things differently and you get different results. So more than doing differently, important is seeing differently. Now, just by seeing differently will not work most of the time, because there is information in your unconscious mind which is actually ruling you. I will say, I will tell myself 1,000 times, I have done so many projects in the company. See, I have done so many projects in the company and I have been successful. I am 100% sure the idea I have is a wonderful idea and this is going to really be successful. But still that voice, but as a teenager, what he had heard, what he had analyzed, what he had stored, that information is going to rule him even today. And that is going to hold him, because these negative emotions are there to protect you. So when the voice inside you is telling you, don't get into this business, you will lose money, you will become a pauper, remember that friend of your father, and that voice inside you is protecting you. So when we talk about NLP, so I think Gargi, somebody, I'm sorry, I didn't see the name, spoke about being obese, right? So it is not easy to become obese, fat. So you need to eat a lot. It also takes a lot of hard work, right? It takes a lot of hard work to eat so much, digest and move around with so much of weight. So what we say is, in NLP, every behavior has a positive intention. So if you fear of something, that fear is because it's protecting you. Now, how would being fat protect you? How being obese protect you? What do you think? How will it protect?
People will not tease her, people will not bully.
Okay, so probably as a child, if she was bullied, right? Now she is heavy, so people will not bully. They will not pay attention to her also. What else? So that is one of the possibilities. Not necessary that everybody would think the same way. We are just discussing possibilities. So what else is? How else will being obese help? Fat help?
Usually when you fall sick, you don't have, you revive faster, because after COVID, people took a lot of time to revive, but I did not take so much of time to revive, because even after not eating for some time, I was like, okay.
So thank you very much for sharing that. Yeah. So that is one of the benefits probably. What else? So one of the books in which I came across an article which said that a research said that, about a lady. She gained weight and she continued to gain weight uh, because she didn't like men looking at her and kind of proposing her, right? So she wanted to stay away from those kind of men's eye, right? So that is why
Unnecessary attention.
unnecessary attention, or that I can't why
Unwarranted attention.
Yeah,
Something that you
exactly.
don't want.
Yeah, that sexual attention which she doesn't want, that keeps that away, right? So that could be. So we don't know what is there in our unconscious mind. See, unconscious mind is imaginative and creative, right? It can imagine anything and create anything. So anything can be created in unconscious mind, which may not be logical for us, right? But that works for that person. So every behavior has a positive intention. If somebody is drinking every day, right, not water, if he is an alcoholic, drinks alcohol every day, it serves some positive intention. Unless that positive intention is served by some other behavior,
Yeah.
he will never
I
be able
remember
to.
of a I remember of a very funny example that was shared by somebody who said that, he started taking alcohol every day during the COVID situation, saying that it is internal sanitization.
Right, right. So that is an excuse, right? So this is an excuse to drink every day, right? Because it's an alcohol, so it will sanitize
Absolutely
you.
right.
Yeah, so it's a
Trying to
every
justify.
yeah, trying to justify. So every behavior now, probably deep inside him, inside his unconscious mind, he might be believing that also. But it may be
True.
ridiculous for us,
True.
right? So people, so it is mind, right? And it's a mystery, and unconscious mind is a greater mystery. And what information is stored in our unconscious mind, where and when, we cannot say. We cannot locate. It's not like a computer memory where we can search the location. Acha, yahan ye file store kiya hai, to go and delete that file, and well, now computer is free. Because over a period of time, so much of information has come in our mind. It has stored there. Now, which information is stored where and how it is ruling you, we cannot pinpoint. I cannot pinpoint. Nobody can. But every behavior has a positive intention, so it is serving some positive purpose to us, to that person.